For your push-up, keep your wrists under your shoulders, elbows at 45 degrees, and keep your core tight. If you can't do a push-up, just modify to your knees. We're working our back out when we're doing the bent over one-handed row. Rest the hand, not holding the weight, on your knee. The back leg should have a slight bend. When you pull the weight up, think about using your upper back muscle and squeeze that upper back muscle at the top. Don't just pull the weight up with your arm. Use your elbow to come up first and squeeze. Here we have a shoulder press with a neutral grip, which means your palms are facing each other. You're raising them up and you're squeezing those shoulder muscles up at the top. From the side, you can see my head is coming a little bit forward. Biceps. It's important here that you go slowly and you really use that mind muscle energy as you squeeze that bicep muscle up at the top of the curl. From the side, you see I roll my shoulders back and then I bring the weight up and I am squeezing that bicep. It is controlled. I am not swinging my elbows. Nice and slow. For the bicep curl, we don't want to just go through the motions. We want to curl with intention. For the dumbbell chest press, I want you to think about squeezing the chest muscles up at the top. And when you bring them down, don't just lift up the weights with your hands. Use that chest muscle to bring them up. That's where the magic happens, at the bottom and at the top. You'll see I have the weights over my chest, not my face. For the two-handed tricep extension, you want to remember to keep your elbows facing forward and keep them close to your ears, squeezing that tricep muscle up at the top. Make sure you keep your core tight so you don't arch your back too much. For a reverse lunge, make sure you have your balance. You are pushing through that front heel to bring your body up and drive that knee up. If you don't want to drive the knee up, you can just step back and then come to a standing position, but make sure you squeeze that booty at the top. The side angle shows you that my knee never comes over my toe and I'm not bent over. I'm at 90 degrees. Frog squats are great for the quads. Do it with or without the weight. You're starting in a squat position and then you're driving your hips backwards and then coming down. Elbows remain between the knees, not resting on the knees. The Romanian deadlift is working the back of your legs. Feet shoulder width apart, neutral neck and back. And when you bend over, you're going to have a slight bend in your knee as you push your booty back. Think about opening a door with your booty. It's important that you hinge at the hips and push the hips back first. As soon as you feel your hamstrings fire up, that's when you come back up and squeeze those glutes at the top. For the goblet squat, feet are going to be shoulder width apart and you are holding that dumbbell in the center. You'll see I'm not hunched over, but I'm staying balanced. When I stand up, I'm driving through my heels and squeezing the booty at the top. This is called a good morning, and it works the backside of your body. Feet are shoulder width apart, and you are going to hug that dumbbell close to your chest. When you bend over, you are hinging at the hips. You are not bending over at the waist. As soon as you feel your hamstrings firing up, that's when it's time to stand back up. Once you stand back up, make sure you squeeze that booty up at the top. You don't need to go down super far. As soon as you feel those hamstrings fire up, you really can stand up. And you'll see my hips are pushing back. The sumo goblet squat. Start with your feet wider than shoulder width apart and your toes facing out. When you stand up, drive that energy through your heels and squeeze that booty up at the top. Be intentional, and you'll see from the side, I'm not bent over. I am sitting back into it. Holding that weight in front of you will keep your core engaged and help your balance.